as well as the lips of Nigerians was June the 12th. And we're also going to focus on that, as I said earlier on. But joining me to look at this, I have Ugochukwu Ikiako. He is a writer. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Victor.
Of course. I also have joining us by the Google Plus Hangout, we have Dr. Yahaya Yakubu, a lecturer of political science at Nile University, Abuja. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much, Victor, for having me.
You're welcome. We also have Aneke Mefimba, who joins us from Uyo in Akwa Ibom State. We thank you as well for joining us on the program.
Yeah, thank you very much, Victor, and of course, a happy day to all Nigerians. Very
well. Ugochukwu, let me come back to you to get us started. I mean, since the president made the declaration about June 12, being the New Democracy Day, there hasn't been, so to speak now, a consensus, of reactions. I mean, there's been people who have been on one side and then, of course, others on the other side. But what is your feeling about this change?
Well, for me personally, I think the president got this right. For some people, there has been different interpretations for the reason why he did this at this particular time. Some observers have suggested that he did it just to please the Southwest Bloc and to make it easy for him to be able to gather enough votes come 2019. But the truth is this, devoid of the political interpretation and the meaning that we give to what has happened so far, I think it is a good one. MK Abiola supposed to have been honored. And for him to have done it at this particular time in our history, I think it's a good one. The interpretation will always be there, but I think people should see beyond what has happened to know that this action from the president is an important one.
It's an important
one.
I'll come back to you on that. But again, let me come to you, Dr. Aya. I mean, so looking at the fact, I mean, there have also been, we were saying that it's an important one, but people have also said that this move was done to right a perceived wrong. I don't know how true that is, but what do you think about this?
Well, I think, first of all, in recognizing the fact that this was our most free and fair elections, I think it's the right step in the right direction. But like he said, again, there is bound to be reactions and there are bound to be counter reactions. But in my candid opinion, I think the timing of this honor comes in a time where politicians are rallying around and trying to group sentiment or mobilize votes or mobilize regions and all that. So for some sections, some might see this as a move to mobilize votes for the second block, while others, two strategies for the executive argue that the right direction and it's long overdue. So again, it's subject to, it is relative and it's subject to which point of view or which camp an individual is, then you will see it from that. But the fact that it's been done is highly commendable. And also there are some certain questions. My own concern as to this issue is not the reason why it is done. Is it done properly? Did the rule of law take its course in this process that led to this honor? Because there are instances of certain individuals threatening to sue the government. So these are certain concerns that we might look into.
All right. But I was just looking at the whole thing. There has been a pattern of military, involvement from the beginning of the process. First of all, General Ibrahim Babangida, retired, of course, annulled the election. Chief Abiola was incarcerated under General Sani Abacha, and he died under the watch of General Abubakar Absalam. And now he's getting his due honor, as you both have said, under a retired military general again. I mean, what is going on? Did the military, work this thing out?
Well, first of all, I would like to say I don't have an idea of how the military workings goes, but like I earlier stated, this honor is long overdue, and the fact that it is coming at this time under a former military dictator, now a democratic president, makes it questionable. There are queries. Queries are bound to arise as to why is he doing it at this time? Why is he doing it to discredit the other military, former military leaders that we see as statesmen that would possibly have a say in the coming 2019 election? Is this a move to destabilize or discredit certain individuals or certain personalities or groups, or is this done in the right direction? Is this to honor democracy? So like I said, it is relative and it largely depends on what block somebody is, and that's how you analyze it from both. It is bound to raise reactions and counter reactions, and the spokesperson of the presidency will tell you that this is a move to recognize democracy. The opposition will tell you that this is a political strategy aimed at mobilizing votes. So it depends on how you tend to view it. But in my opinion, I guess both-sided.
Very well. Let me just get to Anekeme. Anekeme, I mean, you've heard both Dr. Yaya as well as Ugochukwu, but where do you stand on this? Because, I mean, you are a member of the PDP, and, you know, one of the fiercest critics of President Buhari, Governor Fayose, hailed this decision, but believes as well that, you know, there are some political undertones. But in your own opinion, I mean, where do you think this stands?
I must say that, Victor, June 12th is an emotional issue. Every true Democrat in this country will celebrate, must celebrate anything that has got to do with June 12th. A day will mark the freest and fairest election that ever took place in this country. And so all true Democrats, we must underline, are happy and excited that this recognition has actually taken place. Again, what will differ is first with the processes, because it appears this decision was done rather hurriedly. And, you know, the processes are as good as the intentions. You must get the processes right. One of such is the fact that there were grave omissions in those who were honored. Babagana Kingibe, the running mate in that election, honored. Chief MKO Abiola, late, honored. Chief Gani Fawemi, which we do not in any way count Gani Fawemi.
We lost you there for a bit. If you can hear me.
Who did one of advocate honored. But what about, my contention is that we are concerned about...
Hello, Anekeme, if you can hear me.
I can actually hear you. We're concerned about the processes.
We lost you from the party. You started talking about Chief Gani Fawemi. Can you come again?
Yeah, I said that Chief Gani Fawemi fought very and his honor is in place. What we are concerned about this decision is the processes. There was a man who actually conducted this election. His name is Professor Humphrey Nwosu. He ought to be remembered very specially. You know, you must remember the man who actually did conduct this election, than even before the beneficiaries, where Chivenko, Abiola, Babagana Kingibe, and the rest fall into. And there were others who were part of this big struggle. Pa Abraham Adesanya, Professor Wole Soyinka, Commodore Ebitu Ukiwe was also one of them, and the rest of the frontline people who fought very gravely for the June 12 struggle. They should be remembered, else the entire processes, the entire essence of all of this will be defeated. As Democrats, we're happy about this decision, but it doesn't take away our focus from the task of good governance. June 12 is not a distraction. June 12 is that has been made, but our eyes are fully on the ball, on good governance, on delivery of promises that were made by this APC administration in
well, it seems the internet is trying to put us under this conversation between us and, of course, Anekeme. But I mean, you heard him raise some concerns about the processes and those who were omitted, you know, in giving these honors. And of course, I mean, I think I side with him in terms of Professor Humphrey Nwosu, who was the electoral. But do you think that this should have been, you know, far-reaching? Should have been a lot more people than just
like
the three people?
The good lecturer from University of Abuja said,
Now University.
University in Abuja. Yeah. I think it's important for us to agree with him that this was done in a manner that was very fast. I don't think it was thought through, because if this process of honoring these great men was thought through, Professor Humphrey Nwosu should have been included in that list. For him to have done to single-handedly with the team that he worked with to organize an election that, in the history of Nigeria, our election has been characterized with fraud over the last few years. For someone to have done an election that have stand the test of time and is still very important in our history, to say this is the freest election we've had so far, I think would have been nice for Professor Buhari to have honored him the same way honored MKO Abiola, Babagana Kingibe, and the Gani Fawemi. Yeah. But my issue is with Babagana Kingibe. I don't think it should be on that list.
Why?
To be fair, this is the same man that left MK Abiola and went to work with Abacha. The same Abacha that made sure that
he wasn't he serving the nation?
Who can interpret this thing? Serving the nation is relative, because at the end of the day,
because I believe General Abacha called him to serve.
General Abacha called him to serve, but the onus was on him to accept and to deny. But he accepted, and which I believe, no matter what anybody says and try to justify that he was serving the nation, the most important thing that, to an extent, it was done for his own personal aggrandizement. And I think
you don't think he should put the nation above his personal feelings or political affiliations?
The truth is that Nigeria suffered under Abacha. So for anyone to come up and
which is also relative.
It's not relative. The records are there. Under Abacha, we're a pioneer nation. And the international community, a lot of nations doesn't want to do business with us. We had issues with Great Britain. So they served Nigeria, but it was to the detriment of Nigerians. Because at the end of the day, what Abacha did as president is still hurting some of us still today.
Let me bring you into this conversation now. Dr. Yakubu, I mean, again, so we're looking at this thing from the point of view, as Ugochukwu has been talking about, omitting Babagana Kingibe from this list because he, at that point in time, decided to join the government that was set up by General Sani Abacha. Do you share that view?
No, unfortunately I don't, because I feel regardless of how he feels personally or his own affiliations, he should just serving the country. I share his argument, however, on the issue of timing of honor, and I have my own point of view from that to talk about. What I'm trying to say.
Okay, you're leaning to your computer. If you can lean back a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
In as much as we see this as a move towards consolidation or recognizing the day that democracy was, democracy was witnessed the most or manifested the most in Nigeria, I think the idea of governance is about effect, about affecting the people directly. This recognition may have cemented the place of Abiola and others. It does not translate. It has no policy relevance or significance whatsoever to the average Nigerians. It has no effect on the average Nigerian on the street. It has no effect on the market woman. It has no effect on the purchasing power of Nigerians. Rather than us politicizing every issue, trying to see from a certain perspective of mobility of votes or social mobility, trying to appease certain region, I think governance, we as the constituents of governance, they owe us the right as much as to provide us the confinement and every Democrat, like my colleague from Akwa said, every Democrat in heart has it that this was yes and first election, but how does it translate governance? How does it policy?
Yeah, we didn't hear you very well. If you can come again.
I said, how does it happen?
I think leaning back works better. So if you could just lean back, I think that would be a lot better.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and be audible as well. You know, you have a deep voice, so when you bend your neck, it breaks. Yeah, so just lean back and then go ahead.
Okay. I said it has no policy relevance, has no policy significance, as opposed to giving other titles. We Africans, we are wild about this title, that we feel the need to recognize. There are people that have done much and they've gone down in history not being recognized, but knowing the fact that they did this service and it's sufficient enough for them. We as Nigerians we recognize sacrifices like in the world and because the government recognizing it has no policy relevance. The average Nigeria in no way alleviate the realities that we are trying to be distracted from today. No way. In the marriage, we are facing manifold of situations where a lot of issues in Nigeria that I think the list of issues that the federal government should try to celebrate and use to distract us from the requirement of Nigeria. things as celebrities that are going to drop another million naira in preparation and all that. For me, it has no policies. It doesn't have.
All right. Let me bring back Anekeme again. Just before we go, Anekeme, I mean, yeah, I say that the whole declaration has no policy effects, but again, just like you said, your eyes will still remain on the ball, which is delivering the promises that were made during the campaigns. But which could raise the issue of omitting some people from this list of people that will be honored. Do you share that view as well?
I think is good governance. According to a legal maxim, is just if this decision had the wrongs of the would have been addressed. And there are legal issues. The National Honors Act played people who are not alive to be honored. There are also a whole lot of issues committed, and the whole democracy 9 is already in our statute books. So
I mean, thank you for the
take another law, an overriding that out for June. I think on the whole, this ought to have been done properly. But since it has been done already,
political science lecturer at Nile University. Thank you for your time. It hasn't been so
very much.
What isn't alive, I think there shouldn't be basis for such awards.
Yeah, when the president made the pronouncement that MK Abiola, Gani Fawemi should be honored, I think the former Chief Justice Alpha Begore said something that people that are no longer alive shouldn't be on that list. It varies, the legal interpretation varies to all these issues.
Yeah, because Femi Falana challenged him.
Femi Falana challenged him. So I think it will be important to see how this will be solved out in the next coming days. But my issue for what the good lecturer from Nile University said was saying something that this doesn't have any policy attachment to what has happened. Yeah. But I want to disagree with him. Let's be honest, we're talking about a free and fair election. In democracy, as we're meant to believe, democracy rests on free and fair election. It rests on rule of law. It rests on people having the right to go and vote freely. So President Buhari, in trying to celebrate MK Abiola and late Gani Fawemi, has done something that I think is good, and has placed himself on a pedestal that he shouldn't come down again. So come 2019, Nigerians are expecting him to give us nothing but credible election.
Like the one in 1993?
Better than 1993.
Let's hope that happens. But I'd have to say thank you. I mean, we can go on and on, but time is never our friend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us
thank you so much.
On the program. Well, we'll take a quick break, and when we return, we will change gears and, of course, bring another discussion to you. Please stay with us.
Victor.